Ideas, innovations, products, platforms, or stories. What actually sells? Welcome to Thank God It's a Story Saturday, a weekly video series where I share stories with you that you can use to make your messages stick. Today's story is about the sliced bread machine made by a gentleman called Otto Frederick Rodover. I heard this story in a TED Talk given by Seth Godin somewhere around the year 2013, I think. So the story is that Otto Rodover made the sliced bread machine in the year 1912, and for the next 15 years, this machine was a total dud. Nobody bought it. Nobody saw the point of buying a sliced bread, but thought, what is the point of buying sliced bread instead of buying a single loaf? Like, what is the difference? What's the benefit? But 15 years later, Wonder Bread came along and brought sliced bread to our dining tables, if not twice, at least once a day. It's the same thing. How did Otto Rodover didn't manage to do what Wonder Bread did? It is because what we all do all the time. Otto Rodover focused on things like the patent, the machine, the factory, the making, and stuff like that. But Wonder told the story of convenience, actually catered to the story that people were wanting to hear. People were worried if the sliced bread is going to be dry because it's cut in lots of different slices. Is it going to be clean? So Wonder catered to all of that by talking about the packaging, by talking about the freshness of putting the slices together as soon as it's cut. It catered to the story that people wanted to hear. The stories that we tell are not the stories we want to tell. It's what stories people want to hear. And for that, you have to really be in sync with the people who you want to sell the product to. The love for the sliced bread spread so much that in the year 1943, during World War II, when government banned sliced breads from the shelves of the supermarkets because they wanted to use the metal that was going into the machines for weaponry, that time people literally came out and cried and said, give us the sliced bread back, because without that, the life is really hard. One of the women actually wrote a letter which got published in the New York Times. And this letter is a true demonstration of what happens when you get otaku, which is a Japanese word meaning obsession, for a product that you really believe in and the product that actually helps you live your life better. I'm going to read this out to you. Obviously, I can't remember the content of the entire letter, so I'll read it. It's really fascinating. So it goes like this. She wrote, I should let you know how important sliced bread is to the morale and saneness of a household. Morale and saneness. My husband and 4 children are all in a rushing during and after breakfast. Without ready sliced bread, I must do the slicing for toast. 2 pieces for each one of them. That's 10. For their lunches, I must cut by hand at least 20 slices for 2 sandwiches apiece. Afterwards, I make my own toast. 22 slices of bread to be cut in a hurry. Now, there you go. Wonder had provided the story that people wanted to hear. And that is why otaku, the Japanese word for obsession, had spread for the product. So when you make a platform, a tech product, or come up with an innovation or an idea, don't think about what you made and how cool and funky it is and what's the story you want to tell about it. Stop and think. What is the story people want to hear about it? And then only tell the story.